Good morning, Sarah. I'm going to make this quickly. I only got about 25 minutes to punch this out. So, I'm going to open up the SPSS file. Please hold. So I got it. Bam. I'm going to check the variable view, make sure we got something going out here. I'm going to change gender to a nominal variable. No biggie. Everything looks good. So let's look at the first question. So a standard multiple regression with the predictors of sensory, cog, and VA, and the outcome is UVOF. I can do that. Please hold. So we're going to go to Analyze, Regression. Oop, get in there. Linear. I'm going to right click on these and show the display names so I don't have to memorize them. So UFO is the DV, and the independents are sensory, cog, and VA. Click that. And then I just always check the boxes. Statistics. No R squared change with this model. Descriptives, partials, collinearity. Durbin-Watson. We always have to run a Durbin-Watson test. And that part looks okay. Plots. Don't really care about the plots. Save. We should be doing a Mahalanobis test. That will check for outliers of your data. I don't know if she's going to ask you for that, but I'm going to check that box anyway. Click continue. Options. Nothing there. I think we're done. Click OK. There's our output. There's our descriptives. There's all our correlations, which might come in useful. And so here's the original model summary. So you got an R squared of 0.677, which is high. Your Durbin-Watson test, which checks for autocorrelation, is good. This number has to be between 1.5 and 2.5, so you did not violate that. And your overall model is a good one. So yes, you do have a significant prediction model here. So answer 2 is correct. Question 3, which of the following is true? F of 3 comma 136, 3 comma 136 equals 9555. That's right. So this is true. And the R square from the original model was 0.6677. That's true. So yes, this is correct. So number 3 is correct. Moving on. So which of the predictors is statistically significant? Let's go back to our SPSS output. And we're going to look at our coefficients box. That'll tell us. Let me move that up for you. So here's your first IV. And where's that sig? There it is right there. Yes. So your hearing is significant, your cognition is significant, and your VA is significant. So yes, they are all 3 significant. You are on a roll. All right, number 5. Okay, so we're going to control for sensory and VA. So that means we're going to do a hierarchical regression. So let me reset and see what that looks like. Okay, so I'm going to control for, I already forgot, we're going to control for, let me write this down. Got it. Okay, back to this. We're going to analyze regression, linear. We're going to reset that. So right click, display, so the UFOs are the dependent. And the first one is cog. We're going to click that in there. So now by controlling, we're actually adding the 2 other variables, sensor and VA, into we're going to rerun the model. That's kind of what we mean by controlling. So now we're going to put sensory and VA at the same time in there. So that should take care of that. And again, these should already be pre-checked. Oh, no, we need one big difference. When we have more than one model, we have to check for the R squared change. So every time you add a variable or another variable or variables into the mix, you got to look for that R squared change. If there was some serious R squared change, that means whatever variable you stuck in there is affecting the outcome. Okay, so, and we should probably check for these as well. And I think we already ran a Mahalanobis. Let's just do it again with the new model. And we're going to continue. and click OK. All right, so here's the SPSS put out for the hierarchical model. And so we don't really need that. We already know what the correlations are. I'm just going to scroll down to the model summary box. So here's your first one. And there's all your information. Here's number 2. That's when we controlled for those other 2 variables. And again, you just look at the significance. Bam. And so they're both under 0.05. So you have a significant difference there. In other words, I'm sorry, you got a significant correlation between both of them. So that means your regression analysis for both your first model and your second model are statistically significant. So that answers questions 5 and 6. And real quick, let's look at the R-squared change for model 2. Where are you, baby? There's the R-squared change. And for model 2, it should have been 0.259. You see that? It should have been 0.259. You made a little boo-boo there. That should have been 0.259, and I don't see it here. So let me see what's going on. Please hold. Well, gosh, golly gee. So I'm getting a different number. I have the R-squared change here is 2.59. I'm not seeing that here. Okay. R-squared change for model 2 is, I got 2 point. Let me see if I can't figure out another calculation. All right, I can't figure out what's going on here. So I'm sticking by my answer. The R-squared change for model 2 should have been 0.259. This is the R-square, this 0.677. That's the original R-square. That's not the R-squared change. That's this calculated figure there. So, but let's move on. And unfortunately, I have to get going here pretty soon. So I think what I'm going to do is wrap it up for now and have to finish it up with another video on Monday. But let me see if I can answer one more question. Okay, so back to the hierarchical where we controlled for sensory and VA. It says COG explains about 16% of the variance. I don't think that's right. What we're going to do is we're going to go down to the coefficients box. And because these 2 were controlled for, not removed, if they were removed, we would be looking at the part coefficient, I'm sorry, the part number. But because they were controlled, we're simply going to look at the 0 order correlation. Sorry. Say that again. Now, if you were going to remove the effects of the hearing and the visual, we would refer to the part calculation, which stands for semi-partial. But since we controlled for these 2, that's not removing, we did control, you would look at the 0 order. So the 0 order correlation for cognition when the other 2 are controlled for should have been 0.647. So let me switch back to here. And 0.647 is not 0.16. So your answer false is correct. And I think I'm going to have to stop here because I have to go to the doctor. All right. I hope this helps, and I will try to remember to start this at number 9 on Monday. So I'll talk to you soon. Ciao.